Okay, here's the trail gear kit that I bought from Jegs. This is for a Toyota pickup. This is an 8-inch ram, 1.5-inch bore, 3/4-inch shaft. This kit came with the hoses, the fittings, the brackets and hardware, and the ram ends, both ends. This is the kit I'm going to put on the front of my pickup. I was having a hard time steering. This should take care of my problems.
So I don't know where exactly to mount this yet. This bracket here looks pretty universal. I should be able to weld that right to the tie rod, which is great. The other one I don't think I'll be able to use. This was built for the differential on a Toyota to weld right to that. But it gives me an idea of measurements to build one. And I have this bracket on the wrong end of this cylinder, I'm pretty sure, according to how I want to mount it. But I think what I can do is mount this or weld this one to the tie rod, and then this other one out here, I'll just have to build a standout bracket for the axle tube so I can weld that on there and keep it as perpendicular with the tie rod as I can. But it's going to have to be out here something like this. Maybe I can turn that down a little bit more. But it's going to have to be out here like that. And I will mount the cylinder this way, I believe. It's going to work better. But I'm going to have to rebuild this bracket so that it can stand out from the diff or from the axle tube. Because mounting it there, it's too much of an angle. I need to keep it fairly in line with the tie rod. So I'll need to extend this cylinder all the way out so I can get the full extension, and then I can turn the wheels to match that. I'm gonna do some measuring, and I'll make a CAD board cutout for this bracket. A bracket like that, just a little longer, and I can weld that right to the tube. I think I'll do that. Go that way, I guess. Just do some thinking on paper. Well, I got it all figured out. This one bracket will work for the tie rod. And I basically am just copying that, but making it longer. So I made a template just to make that 5 inches. I'm going to cut it 5.5 just so it's too long. Then I can trim it down. So what I'm going to do here is I got this clamped on for straight edge. And I'm just going to buzz these out. And then I'll tack them together and drill this hole so that they're both identical. All right, so I hit these put these in the vise, hit them with the flap disc just to true them up, make them fairly clean and true. And then I tack welded them together so it's one solid piece. Now I can lay my template on here, mark that hole, and drill both pieces at one time, and they'll be exactly the same that way. So here's the bracket that I made. And it looks like it's going to line up really good, being that tall. I thought it was going to be a little too tall, but it may be 1/2 inch, but it's going to work out really good, I think. So I'm going to set that up here and mark it. Wow, it's a little heavy. So I'm still thinking like I was planning before. Just worried about it being out front. I'm hoping it's up high enough. It's up as high as the spring, so I don't want to bust it off of there. But I can't get it up any higher, really. So I think Looks like it'll work, so then I'll go ahead and weld all this up, and then I guess we can weld it on that front tube there. Might have to, I was going to put it over as far as I can, but then I won't be able to weld up the back side, so I'll leave it out an inch or so, maybe I can get a weld in there. So I'll drag the lead out there for the welder. I'll set that up onto the housing there and put a couple of good tacks on it. Okay, I like where that's at. See if that's out of the way enough. Thing I need to worry about here is not running into that diff. I think if I have my bolt in the other way, I should be all right. Should be shy of hitting the spring. I marked that with tape so I knew how far it was going to travel. So I'm inside of that mark there. I like it. So I'll take the flap disc, clean that up, and put a tack on it. All right. Okay, so I have my steering box, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to drill this one out here, drill it and tap it right there, and this other one right here on this flat tab, as close to center as I can get. Hopefully that works right.
So I disassembled this box. It needed to be disassembled so I can get it all cleaned out, so I don't have any metal in there.
Okay, I've got it all put together, but I may have just made, I just realized I may have made one mistake. I started out with the ram completely collapsed. I should have had it fully extended. Yeah, which really there's not enough room inside of that to fully extend it. So there lies my mistake. Okay, I just put a simple trans cooler, just one I had laying around in there, and I got the ram completely installed. I need to bleed it out now and get everything topped off, try to get that air out. So I'm going to do that, and all I'm going to do is just keep adding fluid to the reservoir here until it's working good. Stand by. I'm in the process of bleeding this out, getting lots of air, lots of foam, and gets enough air and foam, it just boils over. So I keep starting it, cycling what I can, shutting it off, cycle it back, and top it off when necessary, or when I can. Right now it's just really fighting that. I'll just keep plugging along. I've heard it was really hard to bleed these out, so I'm just expecting the worst. I'll let you know.
Be prepared to make a mess. This is a little messy bleeding that out, or can be.